Alright, welcome back. This is Raj of Conver Industries. Today we're discussing something pretty interesting. This is something I realized fairly later on in my life. It's the kind of thing that you might be conflicted over. But then yeah, the gist of this video is just being okay with being stupid a whole bunch of times. Now, there are multiple flavors to this, but then how we get into this is first of all just start entertaining a lot of stupid ideas. That's in the sense when you're thinking to yourself, uh, delay the amount of delay rather than delay, the word is like increase your tolerance for being stupid yourself, as in like thinking stupid thoughts. So this could be in the sense of being super delusional, or trying to work out scenarios in the sense that like whenever you prune your sort of prediction trees, in the sense that what could happen, what you could get into, what is possible. uh, I mean, try and uh, try and think more in both dimensions in terms of like the worst case scenarios and the best case scenarios. So that opens a whole bunch of stuff. It gives you a whole bunch of details. It's like a really nice creativity and an imagination trick. And that's one thing. That's one aspect of this. When you're thinking to yourself. The other one is just around people. Just lower your guard. You do not need to put up the facade of like being always like being right like all the time, or just being that sorted guy in the sense that never says stuff that is wrong, all that is not well thought. So usually this cannot be done in professional contexts, I guess. So that's the thing. There, of course, you have to put on the facade of thinking stuff out well. But yeah, usually when I am sort of used to the people around me, or people are used to me, I sort of I might even throw a disclaimer that I default to being stupid and asking a lot of stupid questions. The point being, on a lot of questions, because that really helps me dial down on the conversation like really quickly, and just ask questions that are like quick to get answers to pretty immediately. You do not need to think to get a lot of good questions. One of my videos was how to ask good questions. That doesn't mean you should shy away from asking bad questions, because the amount of time that you put into thinking whether a question is good or bad, you would have gotten the answer anyway, like pretty early on, like pretty quickly comparatively. If you just ask the question, got the answer, fetch the answer, and like moved on. So it's more of a balance between execution and meditation, meditating upon things versus just doing them and moving on. So thinking about like what's a good question, what's a bad question, that's cool. That's something you should do with yourself, not with and some people, not everyone. I do not know what the criteria for that exactly is. It is that I cannot express it, but then when to do this sort of stuff with what kind of person. Uh, so yeah, there's that. This baseline level of stupidity is what we're talking about. What this does for you is it helps you think in kind of offbeat ways. It helps you imagine things. Imagination is like kind of a great tool. Uh, I do not think, yeah, anyone else can like any other species probably imagines stuff. I do not know. Uh, Dreaming is probably a thing, but then they're not probably aware of that. Imagination, I do not know. Do they imagine stuff like any other species? Not sure. I might have to just like do a quick look on that. But imagination is like fairly powerful. Uh, yeah. So being able to like chart out scenarios and like going forward in time and like thinking in all possible manners and like doing all sorts of analyses. It's a good game to have to yourself. Because okay, we're really bad at predicting stuff. I'll say that like right away. Uh, it's not like, I mean, it's really easy to justify things in hindsight, as in like you saw the indicators, you saw the signals, so like why something would happen. Uh, but yeah, usually you will not talk about all the signals that indicated that this would not happen. So someone who like claims to be able to like predict stuff, yeah, no, that's just like kind of a red flag to me. If someone says like in hindsight, they say that they knew this would happen, or like this is what could be up. It's like, yeah, it's kind of a red flag in the sense that they're kind of bullshitting you. So I from the get go itself, I kind of accept that uh, there's no point in like predicting and like uh, trying to prepare for stuff. So the word for it, the vocabulary for it in my own mind changes. It's like it just imagine or like play out all sorts of scenarios rather than predicting, and like ranging from the worst to best possible case. And you prepare that way. Uh, yeah, rather than trying to predict what could happen, you just like chart out possibilities, and yeah, that's when really nice things start to pop up in terms of opportunities. It's like what you could do down the line, or like if you take a certain action right now, how it could uh, yeah, how it could unroll down the line. So that sort of stuff. Now, where does stupidity come into this? This is one of those things that I feel is kind of necessary for human survival. It is like a double-edged sword. I mean, it could also get you killed, but then it's also kind of interesting and helps you discover a whole bunch of stuff. Uh, if you're always rational, you probably will kind of have a boring life. I mean, if you, it's going to be kind of paralyzing to say the least, cognitively paralyzing to be rational at all times. Now, stupidity, fun, and doing things just for the sake of themselves, like having a gut feeling or like instincts or like, yeah, intuition, those sort of things. I'll not say instincts and intuition, but then yeah, deliberately having the fun and yeah, that sort of stuff, or like entertaining irrational thoughts. That sort of stuff I would say is kind of essential for human survival as well. Uh, for a higher state of peak, because yeah, if you don't have that, life kind of gets boring, and I don't want to say this from a place of like being I don't know, scared of boredom or whatever. It's more on the lines of like, it really opens up different dimensions of thought. Uh, yeah. Now, uh, this being like, let's do an immediate example. This being like a serendipity as a service. I do not hold myself back in terms of like what I see here. So it's truly serendipity in the sense that I do not judge the quality of my own ideas right away. Words just flow, and I might have to like force the chain of thought sometimes. But then really, it's mostly about like putting ideas out and getting over with it. So if you if you think something is stupid, try to get at the root of like why it is stupid, so that leads you to a new kind of stupid. So uh it's kind of it's actually like just as good as when you find good ideas. If you find why something is stupid, you also get an idea, you also get a better judgment of like what is not stupid. So having this skill of entertaining stupidity in your own head, having stupid conversations with yourself, that's also like pretty good to have. Uh, as for example, I mean, I am let's say I someday think that I need to get into like certain sort of adventure sports, like get into like motocross, like I don't know, dirt bike racing or something. Now given that that's like a pretty insane idea, that would be fun, but then it would kind of be a little stupid for me as well right now. Now that's like my hunch as to like why it would be stupid. But then once I get deeper into it, it's like the whole logistics of it, like the whole time of it, and what really makes it stupid is like resources and constraints, and like how the timeline falls into stuff, and like how does it conflict with my other goals. Once I start charting those out, I really get down to what are my current bottlenecks and what makes something stupid for me. Getting into the how it becomes stupid for me, that really provides you a whole bunch of information. So like, what are your current constraints in life? What should be your priorities and that sort of stuff. So just entertaining these kind of questions uh, is kind of good. Now, uh, also just like again that balancing act between like executing stuff and meditating upon stuff. Sometimes just like doing things and moving on with the lessons is probably much faster and better than just about thinking about it. So there's that. The other point that I was saying is in these SaaSs. Why I do these SaaSs is mostly not for the audience. It's for me. These are sort of essays. You could think of these as video essays. Now, what is the point of these video essays is try and realize what is unsaid, but then you might experience. Uh, these are things that I meditate upon. It's worth meditating upon abstractions, not hardcore realities. Yeah, meditating upon events is probably like hardcore physical real events is probably not it. But then meditating upon abstractions is could lead a whole bunch of value. Now, what how this changes you is that you become a sort of a you become kind of more intuitive in terms of how you judge situations, and because you're already thinking so much, new thoughts kind of don't phase you anymore. So that's an advantage. It's like you're used to thinking. Thinking is kind of great. Thinking is this one thing that I do not think enough people embrace. Just think. Just sit and think. Of course, there's a balancing act between like doing and thinking, but why not do both? Do whatever is worth doing in the moment and think about whatever is worth thinking about at the moment. Uh, and you can do stuff and think at the same time as well. So yeah, stupidity is kind of just another degree of freedom in the kind of thoughts that you have. If you start entertaining stupid thoughts, you will kind of have a new kind of experience in the sense that initially you could just be like, maybe you should not try this crazy sport that has a lot of high injury rates and stuff. And maybe you start thinking into it and like you get into this rabbit hole of anatomy and like understand like what really makes it stupid for you and like what are your current limitations and like yeah, just to entertain stupid thoughts. Do not, okay, what I mean by that is get to the root of stupid. Why is it stupid exactly? And usually it turns out into some sort of a limit. uh, that limit could be like very real and like very justifiable, or sometimes it's just like mind games, your mind playing games with you. uh Now honestly, if I like think really hard enough, I could fit in motocross racing, or like if I like chart a roadmap to it, I could get into that. I mean, it would be sort of an interesting thing to get into. But then I have the resources and I have the time and stuff, and like I yeah, that is a possibility. But then yeah, it again comes down to like how do I fit that onto timeline? And like if you're even worrying about say different sorts of goals. Now, how do you apply this? Is let's say in the modern day, polymathy is a thing. That's interesting for a lot of people. A lot of people might think it is stupid, but then how do you get into the root of polymathy? If you start getting into the root of how you fit in multiple subjects and like how you get good at multiple things and stuff, uh, what starts out as thinking about in terms of like you're distributing your focus across multiple domains, and that's just stupid and you're not optimizing. If you think really hard enough, you start getting into the root causes of like what really makes these domains the same and the different and how they're different. Like how you could if you were to really like be creative with it, and if you were to really think hard about stupid things, so like what makes them stupid, new ways do open up. Now, you might not completely be able to achieve whatever stupid thought you had, but then you will end up pulling off a certain sort of a Kobayashi Maru, is what I usually think, in the sense that, yeah, you will get to a happy medium where you break the boundaries of like the self-constructed game that you're playing, and you end up in a situation where you engineered your own way out of stuff by just thinking about it. So that is kind of cool. And to be able to do that, to be able to do that uh, intuitively over and over again is like a fun skill to have. So you just entertain all kinds of stupid. This is probably the message of the day. For people who don't know a Kobayashi Maru would be, that's when I think Kirk Kobayashi Maru is supposed to be like hold on, I forgot the terminology exactly. It's supposed to be sort of a simulation that is supposed to teach captains or like fleet leaders in Star Trek or like fleets in Star Trek that not every situation can be won against. So Kirk does something. I would just recommend you watch the movie itself. Uh, not just read up on it, just like Wikipedia it. Yeah, yeah. So there's that. I mean that's it for the day. So I am gonna like start embracing a whole bunch of baseline, like whole bunch of stupidity henceforth in these SaaSs. Uh, I used to put myself to a standard in the sense that is this worth it? Is this worth talking about? But then I've realized that that is sort of restricting my serendipity. That is not what I started this channel for. This is just like me sort of just thinking out loud and trying to constrain that is probably not it. So yeah, baseline stupidity it is. Uh, of course, this does not give you a free rein to not think well. I never said don't think well. Try and alternate between like being super stupid and super rational. So this is an insane game that you could have in the sense that deliberately start out with a really stupid thought and then switch to an extremely rational and logical mindset, and like that is super resourceful in terms of all the knowledge that it has, and like try wiggling out of that stupid situation. How do you get to a good situation? So that is kind of great. uh yeah, for example, assume I was just like supposed to be I was supposed to be stranded on an island. uh that's like super stupid. Why would I be stranded on an island? Like, why would I just think about it? uh and like, yeah, but then like switch to like a super rational mode, and I'd start thinking about like how would you get out, like what would you do with the resources, and like how would you what's your game plan, uh what's your knowledge of like directions and stuff, and like geography to understand where you might be on what part of Earth, like if you do not know where you were, or like how you could contact people and stuff. So that's what all sorts of old documentaries that you watched and like reality TV that you watched might come to help. So yeah, that kind of stupid. Just like put yourself in like super stupid situations first, and then switch to being extremely rational, and then think well. Uh, it really helps train your rational mind. So at this point, maybe you should just like start writing fiction, I guess. So yeah, make up your own stories, build up your own problems, and try to solve them in your own fantasy worlds. Is what it is, I guess. Uh, but yeah, we appreciate it when this happens in fiction. Uh, in fiction or like in books and like novels and stuff. But then I'm encouraging you to like entertain this sort of stuff in the real world. Uh, yeah, it makes life kind of more interesting. So that's what it is. This was SaaS X19 baseline stupidity. Hope you enjoyed. This was Raj of Conver Industries. See you in the next one.